Did you do it? Naomi?
Who's in California?
Yeah. I unmuted.
Oh, they're in California?
Hi.
No.
You couldn't keep away from the baby.
That's it.
Hi,
I'll tell
Ray.
you.
Hi, Ray.
Guys, we're not unmuted.
Hi, Mars.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Hi,
Hey,
Sam.
girls. So, I don't know.
Are you going to come on in or not?
Okay. So I don't know who that is.
You're doing the thing when you shouldn't.
You have to relax. I don't see any other husband giving his wife, and I
Let's
see
see.
women who
Call
keep
us on.
it.
You don't see anything you ever wanted to see. So don't you constantly.
Mom,
Yeah.
Hi.
Don't know.
Hi.
I have to, I'm gonna mute mine and turn off the video because I have to watch the other one too.
Okay. What are you
I'll be
drinking?
doing that shortly.
Yeah, I was gonna say your wine looks good.
It's good. It's margarita. It's
Oh,
very good.
nice.
Alan makes good margaritas. It's not on yet, is it?
What?
It's not on yet, is it? They're playing music, right? They have an interlude. We have a violinist now before the state of school.
It's to calm you down
Probably.
when they tell you they're only gonna go remote next year.
Oh,
There's all asynchronous and they're expecting her help.
Better not be.
So it starts at 7?
Yes,
That's
Mom,
starting.
one honey.
Hi, girls.
We're going to start in just a minute or two.
Okay.
The timekeeper is here.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hi, Ariel.
I said,
Ariel.
Everybody's on. It's kind of cute.
It'll be different. That's good. Some of them shorts tonight.
That's Sarah.
I don't know where to put my AirPods. And for you guys or for them?
How many people are?
73.
Three.
Yes.
Okay. 10.
2.5, 2.
Okay, why are we being so quiet? Do we have to?
You're in service.
It isn't 7 o'clock until the rabbi says it's 7 o'clock.
7:01.
All right.
Okay.
Which meantime,
Is Rabbi Cooper on the call? Let me make sure he's here.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Can we mute everyone?
Yes, I'm going to mute everybody right now.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is a very, very important and special time. First of all, in just a few minutes, we are going to do an observance of Yizkor, which of course is so hard to imagine. You know, normally we do Yizkor in Shul, of course, on Shavuot, on the second day of Shavuot. And this year, we're doing it in our homes before Shavuot. But it's something that we do, which is one of the most important things about Judaism, which is memory. Remembering those who have come before us, remembering those who have really created the foundations of everything that is important to us, of the things that we go back to during happy times and during challenging times. And it's really to those people that we owe so much to. And Yizkor is a chance that we can come back and remember. And we're going to do the Yizkor service in just a few minutes. But before we do the Yizkor service, we have a very, very special opportunity. Those of you, I see we have some guests of the Lamperts, which is really wonderful. But those of you who have been in the main sanctuary of Beth Shalom, the Epstein Sanctuary, we have these beautiful windows that go through the holiday cycle. It's really just an amazing thing when we're there in prayer and davening and to see the yearly cycle right there before us in these beautiful stained glass windows. And up until a few weeks ago or a few months ago, we had every single one of our stained glass windows dedicated. And now, because of the generosity and dedication and commitment of the Lamperts, we have our final window dedicated. And how appropriate that window is for the holiday of Shavuot. And as a shul, as a community, we're so grateful to you, to Al and Tanya. And also, it's so fitting that we're doing this dedication as part of Yizkor service, because of course you're dedicating this in memory of your parents and in memory of your son Larry. So it's just so many things seem to come together in this way, and oftentimes in Judaism it seems that happens. So one just very, very brief thought that I was thinking about, of course we are celebrating the holiday of Shavuot, which is the holiday of the giving of the Torah. There's a passage in the Talmud that says, in ein kemach, ein Torah, which literally means if there's no flour, there's no Torah, or if there's no dough, there's no Torah. It means if there's no support, there's no Torah. And Al and Tanya, they have both aspects. They love to learn. They're very active in our library. In fact, really was because of them that we have a library at Beis Shalom, which really provides continuing learning and deepening of understanding of our Jewish identity and tradition for so many of our members. So they have the lilmod, they have the learning part, but in conversations with Al and Tanya, they also understand that ein kamach, ein Torah. If we can't support it, then it's not going to last. And they have that deep sense of responsibility to community. So it's in that spirit that we really have a deep sense of gratitude to Al and Tanya. We're going to be dedicating this evening the final stained glass window of our Epstein Sanctuary, which is the Shavuos window. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn it over to Al and Tanya. I'm not sure which one of you or both of you are going to share some words about the people for whom the window is being dedicated. And then afterwards, we're going to do at least a virtual unveiling or a virtual dedication of the window. And then our president, Arnie Hiller, is going to offer some words of gratitude as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Al and Tanya. Let's unmute you. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you to everyone who's joined us in Zoom for the dedication of the last of the beautiful stained glass windows in our Epstein Sanctuary. Each window has a special theme, including festivals, Shabbat, Israel, and even the moon landing. However, Shavuot was never chosen. Indeed, Shavuot is the holiday that seems like an afterthought. No lulav and delicious smelling etrog, no Hanukkah menorah, no blast of the shofar, no Seder with family except this year. However, as it is sung in a verse that is said each Shabbat, Sof ma'aseh v'machshavah tehillah, last in deed, but first in thought. The giving of the Torah, which is paramount in the holiday of Shavuot, is the basis for all else.
Our parents would be a little amazed and quite overjoyed to learn that this beautiful Shavuot window is in their memory. Our parents knew the importance of Torah and observance. My parents, Dora and Hyman Lampert, were founders of the first Orthodox show in Peabody, Massachusetts. Tanya's parents, Minna and Jacob Annis, were devoted to Jewish causes and the synagogue. It was part of their daily lives. Many of their grandchildren and great-grandchildren are on this Zoom call today with us.
Losing our son Larry almost 9 years ago so swiftly and tragically was a blow that parents cannot easily recover from. His legacy is a wonderful wife and daughter-in-law, Melissa, and 3 children, Jacob, Zachary, and Jessica, who've had to navigate life without him. While he might be a little amazed that this window is dedicated to him, I know that he would have cherished it.
So now each window will be dedicated, and when we finally return home to the sanctuary, the Shavuot window will complete the cycle. We are honored to be able to do this in memory of the people we love so much.
Thank you, Al and Tanya. And we're just so grateful for everything that you've done. If you look at the screen right now, you can see beautiful pictures that Al and Tanya sent us of all the people that they're dedicating the window in memory of. So we're going to go through the slideshow. I don't know if Al and Tanya are free to say anything about the pictures as we're going through, but I do see that there are some descriptions there. But if you want to add anything, you're more than welcome to.
Well, the first picture is Larry, and then my parents, and then my in-laws' wedding picture. as you can tell, I had to dig up things. In the next group, it's my parents. The first one is my parents' wedding picture. And then at the top is Larry's college graduation. My parents made it to Jacksonville, Florida. And then the next picture is Larry and Melissa and the dog that brought them together. Down at the bottom, my in-laws, Dora and Hyman, and then Dora, who was so proud of her Jewish war veterans. We still, I think, have her Jewish war veterans cap and cape. And then finally, my parents. And I realized as I look at my mother, I look more and more like her, which is good. Those are my parents. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan, Tanya. That's really beautiful photos, and really what an appropriate thing for us to do as we're about to do Yizkor. So now we're going to do the unveiling itself. Again, we'll try to do it virtually. Obviously, if we were in person, perhaps we would remove the something covering over the dedication, but I believe Rabbi Cooper has a picture for us of the window together with it, so we can have the virtual unveiling right now if Rabbi Cooper has the picture. Oh, there it is. For some of you, your actual seeing of other people might be covering it, so you can always just move around the different images. And it reads, stained glass window in memory of our esteemed parents, Nina and Jacob Annis, Dora and Hyman Lampert, and our beloved son Larry, Aryeh Mordechai, by Tanya and Albert Lampert. We are so grateful to you. Thank you so much. This means so much to our community. It would mean so much to our community no matter what, but especially in this time. Huge yasher koach to everything that you've done. I'd like to turn it over to Arnie, Arnie Hiller, our president, who's going to also offer some words of gratitude.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Al. Not only for this dedication, but for all that you've done. People on this call may or may not know, but you were instrumental in helping jumpstart our endowment program with a very, very generous contribution to the shul. And as the Rabbi alluded to, now more than ever, we our community are trying to deal with all kinds of uncertainty and trying to do the best we can to make things right and keep and support those who need our support. It's really funny that this whole window initiative began several months ago when one of our youngest members came to me and asked me, Arnie, what do each of the windows represent? And can you tell us more about them? And as we began this exercise of going through the windows and checking out who dedicated what and explaining to the congregants who dedicated the window, what it represented, and why it was dedicated, it became a really interesting exercise. And from week to week, people would ask me, when are we going to talk about the next window? Unfortunately, we've been unable to get together in person now for several months. And it's just fitting that we came to this window at this point in time. Unfortunately, we can't be there live to give you all the kavod that you totally deserve. But from the bottom of our hearts, we want to thank you for your generosity, for the fact that you are there for us and for this community whenever asked, and for the thoughts behind this window to your family, to those who are no longer with us. And we thank you so very much and wish you a Chag Sameach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arnie. And once again, thank you, Al and Tanya. That was really beautiful. And obviously, this is a wonderful segue to move into Yizkor. I know some people are on the call, came for the dedication. Of course, you're more than welcome to remain on the call for a Yizkor service. Some people I know have a custom that if both of their parents are living, they don't stay in the room of shul. Well, we're not really in a room, but we're in the sanctuary in a certain way. So if you feel more comfortable leaving now, we completely understand, as we're going to now transition into Yizkor service. I always think that Yizkor sure every holiday really has a different feel to it. On Sukkot, when we're feeling deep sense of gratitude for it's a harvest festival, we think about maybe some of the material things that we got from our loved ones who are no longer with us. Obviously, on Yom Kippur, it's a day of introspection. We think about some of the internal gifts that they've given us. On Pesach, we think about the star and the Seder together with loved ones and what that meant and how important that continues to be for us. Well, I think that the Yizkor of Shavuot, obviously the theme is the giving of the Torah, and I would take the Torah in the broadest sense of that term, our values, the reason that we're here, the thing that animates our life. Torah, values, Judaism, one generation to the next. The idea we say in the first mission of Pirkei Avot, Moshe kibel Torah misinai, umasro Yoshua. Moshe received the Torah and gave it over to Joshua, who gave it over. Well, just like there is a chain of rabbis, of teachers, our greatest teachers are our parents, our grandparents, loved ones who came before us. Some of us are saying yard site for siblings. Think about all of the Torah. And when I say Torah, I mean Torah in the deepest way that we've learned from them. Or children. Some of us might be observing yard site Yizkor for children. So challenging, so difficult. But again, we think about what we've learned from them, from being with them. So as we move into Yizkor, first of all, I'd encourage people in the chat, please take advantage of the chat box, and you can write names of people who were saying Yizkor for. If you sent the names in before, they're going to be on the screen. Also, in just a minute or two, when we do the Kelmale, Chaz and Abe Cherek's going to do the Kelmale, we also will be able to have a slideshow. People sent in pictures of those that were saying a Yizkor for. So right now, right before we say Yizkor, if you have the Yizkor, if you have a Siddur, you could turn to the back of the Siddur, at least in the art scroll, it's on page 856. But it's usually in the back of almost any siddur that you have. And as we do that, you can take a moment, perhaps you can close your eyes. You can think about the person or people who you are saying Yizkor for. You can even engage them in conversation. Tell them how you're doing. We're all going through a lot in different ways, challenging things, but also I'm sure we all have moments of gratitude that we might want to share with those who we are remembering right now. And take a moment to do that. And then afterwards, you can say the actual Yizkor itself. Bottom of 856, 858, there are Yizkors for parents, for aunts, for uncles, for grandparents, really anyone who you feel like you want to remember right now. You could use the Hebrew words. You could also use the words of your heart. We'll give everybody a minute or two, and then after that, Chaz and Abe will say the Kelmale. Feel free to continue to say the Yizkors at your own pace. And while you're doing that, I'm going to ask Chaz and Abe to recite the Kelmale for the martyrs. You can find it on page 860 if you happen to have an art scroll sitter on the bottom of the page.
B'malos kedoshim u'taharim kezohar hakiyah mazhirim es nishamos hakedoshim v'yataharim shehu meso v'sheneherago v'shenishchato v'shenishrafo v'shenityo v'shenechnego al kiddush Hashem v'yavor shana mispalalim v'yaras koras nishmosayim v'gan eden tiyeh menuchosam Lochen abal harachamim yastiren b'seiser chnafav li'olamim v'yitzror mitorah chayim es nishmasayim Adonai u'nachalosom v'yanuchu v'shalom amishkevasayim
To do one more Kalmale. It's our tradition at Beshalom to do a Kalmale also for the members of the Chevra Kadisha of Beshalom.
El Mole Rachamim Shochein Bameromim Ametzei Menucha Nechona Al Kanepei HaShechinah B'malos Kedoshim U'Toruim Kezohar Harakia Ma'asiyim Es nishamos aneshrei bebrachadisha shabbat shalom shachul yoramon v'yavor shonim mispalim v'yaras kodesh nishmasayim V'gan eden tiyeh menuchosam Lachen b'al harachamim אסירים בספר חרפות לעולמים. יצרור בתורה חיים אס נשמותיהם, אדוני הוא נחלתם. ינוחו ושלום על משכבותיהם, ונאמר
Amen.
אמן.
Amen.
We'll now recite a Kaddish together. We've been saying every evening, for those who would be saying Kaddish in shul, every evening in our Zoom room, we've been reciting a virtual Kaddish together, and we're going to recite it now. And in a moment, I'll share my screen. I just want to point out that there are now 117 participants, which probably means close to 150 or maybe even more people in this virtual space right now. And normally, most evenings when we say this virtual Kaddish, it's a much smaller group, and I just want to say how beautiful it is for us all to be saying this tefillah, this prayer together. It's a individual's form of Kaddish, meaning some of the words are similar, though it's not exactly the same as the Kaddish we would say if we were in a minyan in shul. In a moment, I'll share my screen, and I'm going to keep everybody on mute as we say it, just so that we don't have too much of an echo, but I will say it out loud, and feel free as I'm saying it to remain standing and to say it along with me. I also just want to mention before I share my screen that today's Day of Virtual Opportunities was also sponsored by Samantha and Benji Friedman, and we thank them for doing that. Okay, if you want to join me, if there's no background noise in where you are, please feel free to unmute yourself and say it along with me. So we can have some people saying it with me. Al Hakol Amen. May all of their memories be for a blessing.
When is actual Yizkor? Is it tomorrow?
It's on Shabbat. It would be on Shabbat.
We say it on Shabbat tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's on Shabbat.
It would be on the second day of Shavuot.
Okay.
So yeah, everyone, this is, of course, thank you for saying that, because this was obviously a very powerful opportunity for us all to get together, but we still should say the actual Yizkor if we have a chance to read the Torah reading and do the Haftorah on the second day of Shavuot. We should afterwards actually do Yizkor itself on the correct day. But really, the whole Yom Tov is a time to learn, is a time to contemplate, and perhaps throughout Yom Tov you'll be able to, of course, continue the memory that we started this evening all together. I want to wish everybody a Chag Sameach, a Chag full of connection to Torah, to our heritage, to our families, to loved ones, to whoever we're with. If we're by ourselves, I know that some people are going to be alone for Yom Tov. I want to wish you a sense of strength, a sense of being able to connect in any way that you can. And we're all thinking about each other, and hopefully we'll be able to have each other in mind throughout Yom Tov and remain connected. And for people who want to join tomorrow on Motzei Shabbos, we're going to have, of course, a Kaddish as well. Chag Sameach, everybody.
Chag
Thank
Sameach.
you. We can unmute everyone if you want to say goodbye. As we go.
Good night, everybody.
Wow, it's so wonderful to see all of you.
Hey, Chag Sameach. Beautiful Yizkor.
Craig. Hey, Craig.
Hey,
Chag Sameach.
Enjoy your cheesecake.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Bye.
Thank you, Al, Tanya.
Anyone make any good cheesecake for Yontif?
Bye. Is this recorded because my nephew in Israel, Yaakov, would like to watch it on Sunday?
Yes, it was recorded. It was
Okay.
recorded.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi, for the bags you guys delivered.
Thank you, Rabbi Cooper. If you get a chance to look at the Shavuot, the Pirkei Avos, it's really amazing. Even if you didn't ask for a kit, you can go online, go to the last email that Rabbi Cooper sent out. It will have the Pirkei Avos. You could print it up. It should be a beautiful learning over Yontif. Different commentary from different members of Beth Shalom.
Great job.
Wonderful project.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone who contributed. I see so many
Very
contributors
good.
there.
It was fun. It was fun too.
We have art, we have poetry, we have, it's beautiful. It's really a beautiful, beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Xag Sameach.
Thank you.
Xag Sameach.
Xag Sameach.
Xag Sameach.